कैसा हराया। पूरे के पूरे मुंब्रा को ग्रीन कलर से ऐसे रंगना है कि इन लोगों को यहाँ से बुरी तरह से पछाड़ के भेजना है।
Dear viewers, a 29-year-old corporator wins her first election. That should have been the story. A young woman entering politics, a new face in local governance, a chance to talk about roads, water, garbage, hospitals, the basics that decide everyday life. But instead, Mumbai and Maharashtra found themselves debating something else. Two sentences, Kaise Haraya and Mumbra ko poora hara bana denge. Within hours, the speech went viral. Screens lit up. TV panels exploded, social media turned toxic. Some called it confidence, some called it arrogance, some called it empowerment, others called it provocation. And suddenly, a municipal election meant to decide drainage lines and water supply turned into a national debate on identity politics. This is the story of Sahar Shaikh, but more importantly, this is the story of what Indian politics is becoming. Hello, I'm Tejas and you're watching Honest Take on Lokmat Times. Before we get into the details of this story, please do subscribe to Lokmat Times if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update. First things first, who is Sahar Shaikh? Sahar Yunus Shaikh is not a political accident. She is educated, articulate, multilingual and digitally fluent. She understands reels better than rallies. She understands viral clips better than press conferences. At just 29 years, she defeated a well-established political network in Mumbra, a region long considered the fortress of NCP leader Jitendra Awad. Her winning margin was decisive, her confidence unmistakable, but her political entry was not organic. She is the daughter of Yunus Shaikh, a long-time NCP functionary. When the party denied her a ticket, the family walked out. AIMIM welcomed them. Within weeks, Sahar Shaikh became a corporator and overnight she became a symbol. Her victory speech had two moments that triggered the storm. First, Kaise Haraya? Not a question, a taunt, directed clearly at Jitendra Awad, a leader who had controlled Mumbra Kadwa politics for nearly 2 decades. The message was simple, your era is over. Then came the second line, अगले 5 साल में मुंब्रा को पूरा हरा बना देंगे. And that's when politics stopped being civic, because in India, colors are never just colors. Sahar Shaikh later clarified. She said, green is our party color. If our flag were saffron, I would have said saffron. This is about winning elections, not religion. On paper, the argument holds. Political parties use colors all the time. The BJP speaks saffron, Congress speaks tricolor, left speaks red. So what's the problem? The problem is context. A Muslim majority area, a Muslim identity party, a deeply polarized political climate. Words don't land in vacuum. They land in history, and history decides interpretation, not intention. The Kaise Haraya line was not random bravado. It came from a personal political rupture. Yunus Shaikh was once Awad's ally. The break was bitter, public, ugly. Denied tickets, broken promises, a physical altercation at a press conference. This was not just political rivalry. It was personal revenge dressed as victory speech. And Sahar's words reflected that anger. But democracy demands restraint. Winning is not conquering. When victory turns into humiliation, politics becomes vengeance. So here is the question. Was Sahar Shaikh wrong? Or is she simply saying out loud what Indian politics has normalized? Because for the last decade, this country has been taught one lesson. Identity wins elections. Hindu consolidation created political power. Muslim consolidation is now responding. This is not coincidence. It is cause and effect. When politics moves from development to identity, representation becomes confrontation. And AIMIM's rise is inseparable from Hindutva's rise. One feeds the other. Here is how it works. One side mobilizes Hindu identity, the other side consolidates Muslim identity. Each claims victimhood, each claims protection, each claims existential threat, and ordinary citizens get trapped between slogans. Politics stops being about governance, it becomes about survival. Sahar Shaikh is not creating this system, she is thriving inside it. Let's be clear, municipal politics is not meant for ideological wars. Corporators don't decide foreign policy, they decide drainage lines, they don't rewrite history, they fix potholes. But when those elections are fought on religious lines, voters are secured through fear, not performance. And finally, communities stop asking, what did you do? And start asking, whose side are you on? that is the collapse of governance. Here is another uncomfortable truth. While AIMIM attacks BJP nationally, it has shared power locally when convenient. A quote, Achalpur, committees, chairperson posts, ideology outside, pragmatism inside. This contradiction exposes modern politics for what it is. Not principles, not ideology, arithmetic. When power is the goal, even sworn enemies become temporary allies. That makes moral outrage selective. So here is my honest take. The tragedy is not one speech. The tragedy is that no one is surprised. If a Hindutva leader makes an aggressive statement, it is brushed off as a passion. If a Muslim leader asserts identity, it becomes controversy. Both sides benefit from the outrage, and we citizens lose. Because while politicians fight over colors, sewage flows into the streets. Sahar Shaikh is not the problem, she is the symptom. A symptom of a political ecosystem that rewards division over delivery. Her statements deserve criticism, but they also deserve reflection, because the same politics that made aggressive Hindutva normal has made aggressive minority assertion inevitable. This is competitive communalism. Two mirrors facing each other, reflecting endlessly until governance disappears completely. The real question isn't whether Sahar Shaikh went too far. The real question is, why does Indian politics reward those who do? I'm Tejas and this was your honest take, because when identity becomes power, cities stop being governed, they start being conquered.